Hello, everybody. Uh, Here we are. Robin's having a little technical difficulty. She's here, but we can't hear her. Robin, can you say something now? Darn it. Anyway, stay here, Robin. She'll come back with us. I'll do one of these with just me and Robin and practice until we figure out what's going on. In the meantime, we're gonna get going. The topic for today was power of uplifting others. And this isn't just something to read about. This isn't something, for me anyway, that I heard about. Of course I heard about it, but I did it. I lived this in my life, and I saw the impact. And I know Robin has a lot to add with her being on the cruise liners. And when you talk to people, if you uplift them, what amazing things can happen. Anyway, when you uplift people or even a community, it inspires confidence. I'm going to give you a prime example. Our company, Mr. Mufara, he has inspired others to be their full potential. And we know without a doubt that it worked, because you can go from over 6 years ago when I came to, I would say 2020 was the big explosion of people coming to join us. And we were joined by the heart, right? I mean, what drew us together was we all felt about the same way about uplifting humanity. But when you shine light on other people and sometimes I believe you see qualities in people that maybe they don't see. And for whatever reason, maybe life in general. You know, when you're a little kid, you know, when you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into your 13, 14, whatever, anything is possible. Right? You remember, I'm going to be a fireman. I'm going to go to the moon. I'm going to fly jets. There was no limit. And I always compare this to a big acres and acres and acres in your mind of freedom, of anything's possible. And as life goes on, that acreage gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. If you don't watch it, it will actually lock you into, you're lucky if you have a quarter lot in your head, because you don't believe you deserve to be on the other side of that fence. Or that's not you, that's them or her or him. And I found that, I'll give an example. At work, when I was my regular job, I was the youngest supervisor there, so I took a lot of heat. Most people were twice my age. And the workers were in a union, so they buck and broncoed every time you get them to do something. So you have to use a lot of different techniques in your head, because you want to get the job done. If you don't get the job done, you're not in a union, right? They'll get rid of you. So I remember a gentleman was, he was a loudmouth, shop steward, but he was a sharp guy. And people did listen to him. So I thought, you know, if I can get with him, I conquered a lot of stuff, right? I helped many things happen at one time. So I went to him and I said, you know, you got a lot of qualities about you that I don't think you know. People listen to you and they'll do that. And I don't think it always has to be negative. I mean, you know as well as I do, we work here. We got to do the best we can. I'm not one of these supervisors like a boss or a bully. I would like to persuade you to be with me as we go through these 8 hours. And I'd like to make you a lead man. He almost pooped himself. Nobody's ever said it. Nobody ever asked him. He wound up being one of the best lead people I ever had, because he felt value, and he felt that because I uplifted him, and all I really did is point at him. He already had it in him, but he was too busy playing games. And these games go on and on and on for years. Next thing you know, it's cool when you're in your 20s. It's not so cool in your 30s. In your 50s, you're an idiot. And in your 60s, nobody's listening to you, and you're like, oh, that's that loudmouth punk. I've seen it, so I know. But I've seen that work. Now, with us here, most of us uplift or shine the light on each other. And it's the coolest thing I ever saw. I've seen people grow from can't talk, won't put their name in, to being more of who they are. The company didn't make you. I didn't make you. Other people didn't make you. But if you just feel confident, sometimes people had to point out to me when I was young, Marty, you're pretty good at blank, blank, blank. I never thought nothing of it. But once I was inspired, the confidence grew. You start to feel purpose, fulfillment. It also heals people to make them think that they deserve to be here and they should be here. I'm going to give you a story that I've gave everybody, but I don't think I ever did it live. I was about 25 years old, and my uncle and my aunt owned a farm in Illinois, 400 or 500 acres, and they raised pigs. Pigs are supposedly pretty smart. Well, on a pig farm that they had, they would have them at maybe 1 acre, and the pigs just beat it to death, and they'd move them because they're rooting and whatever. But what kept them in there was two thin electric fences, wires. I don't think they were a foot off the ground, because a pig don't do a whole lot of hopping, okay? And they can't bend their legs. The front leg is just a pogo stick. So you put that thing up, and they're pretty smart. One might touch it, but they got some kind of communication saying, yo, Porky, don't touch that wire. Well, one day my uncle came in and he said, hey, I want you to come with me and some of the cowboys. They're going to make fun of me now. I'm a city boy. And we're going to take down that fence, one part of it, and it's going to walk them right into the new area. It's greener. They have it all set up. It should last a couple months. At that point, they'll fix this part. Piece of cake. What do we do? Well, we're all going to make a line behind them and just walk slowly to get them to go to the next field. I'm thinking, how hard is that? I mean, there's green grass there. They're going to have a blast. They got foods already sitting there. Come on. They're going to run there. Not what I thought. So as we're walking them to where the fence was, they put on air brakes like, I mean, what are they doing? They think the fence is there. Yeah, but it's not. That's not good enough. One of them has to put that nose past that imaginary where that fence used to be. And once he goes, hey, it's cool, they'll run into that field. You gotta be kidding. So we're going forward. And yes, true enough, they start spinning around and running between our legs and running the other way. Don't let them go through. Don't let them go through. 80-pound pig. You can't stop them. So we did it again. We did a little slower. And this one pig kind of stuck his head out and went, there's nothing here. And once he did it and ran, they all did. Because he believed that's where he belongs. Even when you're telling us, no, you can go. Same thing in our head. We live our whole life and we think, well, just go over there. I don't belong over there. Well, look what that guy's got. Well, he's got it because he's different. No, he's not. He got it because he knows that's an imaginary fence. You have control to take the fence down. And how that happens sometimes is uplifting others. I didn't really mean to make such a long story out of it, but that's what came to mind while I was talking. And I seen it firsthand. And if you're watching this and you're looking at us three, I wish Robin could talk because she'll blow you away. you would know what I mean. I mean, I'm 65 years old. I talk with people all over the world. I'm friends with people everywhere. This company has drained the ocean, knocked down walls. I can't think of a country that we don't know somebody in, which is powerful. And the part is, you never feel like you have to protect yourself. Everybody's looking out for each other. Anyway, that's my spiel, and I'm going to turn over to Mike Ellis.
Yeah, no, thanks, Marty. You can hear me okay?
Yep.
Good, good. I thought about the topic that Marty brought up, uplifting people. And my first thought was, why do people listen to Marty and Dan and myself and Robin? And obviously, sitting here listening to Marty, I already know the answer to that. He's very, very good. But it just, I didn't quite understand why people listen to us until I started thinking of, and maybe you've thought about this, maybe you haven't, maybe you're not sure why you listen to us, maybe you wonder why you do listen to us. But when I think about what we do and how we do it, the reason most people listen to us is because we know what failure is. Okay? We and me personally, I have failed way, way more times than I've succeeded. And the reason I tell you this is because unless you know failure intimately, you're never going to know what success looks like. And because of all the failures that I've gone through, I know what success looks like. And I know failure very, very intimately. And because of that, I have a little insight, not only into failure, but how to succeed and what success looks like. And when I start to look at success and the elements involved in success, it doesn't have to be extremely complicated, but it can be extremely complicated. And when we start to think about success and lifting up other people, it's really, really hard to define exactly what success is. And I'll give you a quick example of myself. When I look at success and I look at what's coming and what we're going to be doing, and I look at it financially, what does success look like to me financially? And a lot of people are going to hear this and go, I don't think so. That can't be right. Success to me is about $2,000 a month. That's it. I don't need a lot. I don't want a lot. And $2,000 really takes care of all my bills. Plus, I can put money away for emergency. Now, if I turn that into $4,000, I live like a king. Now, success around the world is different for everybody. Some people, when they look at success, it might be financially, it might be $200 a month. That's it. And that would just absolutely change their life completely. And as you go up on the rung, what people think, what they want to make, obviously it increases for other people. But it's a number that no one can give you, or no one can tell you what it is. If someone comes in and I have the opportunity to talk to them for 5 or 10 or 15, I can pretty much tell what success looks like to them. And because I've gone through all the failures that I've gone through, a lot of them with Marty and Dan, I also know the elements of success. And when I think about my own success and what I'm doing, and again, on the live yesterday, I talked about my goals and how I've reached about 85% of the goals I set 6.5 years ago. And it's because of Mr. Mufar and what he's done and what he's put in front of us. But when I talk to somebody, because of what Mr. Mufar has put in front of, and I'm not going to go into numbers right now. I might do that at a later date. If I talk to someone for 5 or 10 minutes, and this is all about lifting up people, I can not only guess what success looks like in their life, I can also tell them what they can do in 1 year. Now, and I won't put a number to that, because when I do that, people they freak out a little bit. and then I can put a number what they can do in 3 years. And it's not because I'm any more intelligent than anybody else. I've failed a whole lot. And coming into the arena with Mr. Mufara, I've learned so much about what success looks like and the elements involved in a successful business. And that's what we're all going to have. And when you look at all those elements and what I believe is coming, they're there. They're there for everybody. And whatever that number is you have in the back of your mind, Mr. Mufara is coming to the forefront to uplift you. We talk about uplifting humanity. He wants to uplift you, as he's going to uplift me and Marty and Robin and so many other people. And I believe that's what he's putting together now. And when he does come out and we actually get to see what he has, it's going to be a fun time for everybody, because then I can come on, I can actually talk about numbers. I can actually talk about that first year. I can actually talk about 3 years. And it won't be speculation, because of the things we've learned Marty, Dan, and I over the last 15 years. And it does take that amount of time before Mr. Mufara to learn all those things. But you're in a really, really unique position. You're in after Mr. Mufara. And it's going to be a real joy to come in, look at what's happening, and then put it in front of your life. What does your life look like, and where do you want to be? And Marty's right. You know, the pig story, I absolutely love the pig story. They didn't know they could go forward. They literally didn't know it. And there was nothing there. And what Mr. Mufara is putting in front of all of us, he's taking down the wall. You can move forward, and you can move forward in a very, very positive way to affect your life, to affect your family, your friends, community, all of those things. So when I look at success, our real success was failure, because it showed us what we didn't want to do. And if you fail enough times, you put together the elements to success. And obviously, Mr. Mufara is a very, very successful individual. If you look at the past history, he's just very, very successful. He knows the steps to success, and he wants you to have those. It really is that simple. And if you stay engaged, and I believe we don't have time left before he comes out and start talking about different things, I think you're going to find a way forward, and it's going to be an exciting time, because success will no longer be an illusion. It'll be something that is there. The fence has been taken down, the field has been leveled, and the grass on the other side, it is greener, a lot greener, as those pigs found out. So I think it's a good topic, Marty, uplifting people. And in the end, it's what I know, it's what you want to do. I know it's what Dan wants to do. I know it's what Robin wants to do, what I want to do. And I believe we're going to have the opportunity and the tools to be able to do that around the world. And that's even more exciting. With all the people that we've met around the world in just about every country, every continent in the world, except maybe the South Pole. I don't know if I know anybody in the South Pole, but everywhere else, they're there, they're listening. I think why you're listening is because we fail so many times. We kind of put the story together, and we know how to tell it now. So hopefully that's it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you listen to this and go, I don't know why I'm listening to you and Marty and Robin. But I wanted to throw that out there. It's kind of what's been going on in my mind. But the bottom line is the ability that Mr. Mufara is giving us to really uplift people. And I've had the opportunity to do that in the last 6.5 years. And Marty's right. It's a sheer joy. Not only does it change your life, but when people understand who they are, what they have, and the talents they have, the light just comes on. It's just absolutely brilliant. And that's a good place to be. Marty, I'll turn it back over to you.
Fantastic. And I want to say something. A lot of times, I did it myself years ago, you focus only on the money. But I'm going to tell you something. In a business, if you focus on others, the money's automatic. If the money is there to be made and you focus on other and the tools are there that you need, focusing on others is an ingredient that if you add it all together, that's success, which in the long term can give you financial freedom. I believe that without a doubt. Now, you could do it two ways. One is grab as many people as you can and go through them like a rototiller, where people's just a number. But if you don't build relationships, it won't last. I've known guys that were making 80 grand a month, and 2 years later they were selling their home and downsizing to an apartment. They got divorced. It was bad because it was an up and down and up and down and up and down. And they were following someone that was smash and grab. Let me get this going for a year, 6 months, and some of these people make millions, and then I'll move on to something else and repackage it. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want that part of, I just don't want to be part of all that. So people ask, I talked to a gentleman the other day that I knew right after I got online, real nice guy. I'm still here because of Mr. Mufara, and I believe with all my heart he cares. More for us than some of us even know. And when I asked him, Bob Takushi asked him, what about you, Ash? What's your goal in all this? Financially, all that. And he goes, I never put myself into the equation. You ever hear anybody say that? Think about what he said. Anyway, Robin sent me something because she can't speak out loud. From the moment we are born, we start to die. Our bodies were created in this way. It's at the bottom. It is up to us as to how we spend the time between these two bookends. She's right. Bookmarks that can and will make a difference in our lives. I believe that is make a difference, and that's without a doubt. And some of us, and it's never too late. I don't want to hear that. I don't care if you're 60, 70, 80, 90. If you're talking and you can move around and you get it, it's never too late. Never. But always work on yourself. And if there's something there that you have no control over, don't hold on to it and let it eat you up. I do it. I've had it happen. I just go, let it go. I have no control over it. Let it go. And move on to something I do have control over. And what's that? You don't have control over life, but you have control on how you respond to it. And that's what I've learned. Robin had a couple more things to say. Every person is your brother and sister. We need to treat them always in the way you would like to be treated. That's even written in the Bible. If we come from our heart with gratitude added to our actions, we are compounding the good we are doing while helping others. And let me tell you, it sounds a lot better coming from her voice than the Cookie Monster. Real men respect women. That's without a doubt. Real women respect men. Thank you, Robin, because I was about to, But I mean, I look at what my wife's done for me. I mean, it's amazing. She's the wind beneath these little bitty wings and hummingbird lungs. She said, even without a mic, I found a way to talk. Yeah, Robin, we'll get that fixed. We'll get that fixed. I want to
Absolutely.
I want to let you know we're off tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm having church at my home. And then we'll be back Monday. Monday morning, I've got my first doctor's appointment with my family doctor, He wants me to bring all the stuff that they did to me and all the chemicals they're giving me. So he's going to have a field day. He's a stickler, you know what I mean? He's every detail. So let's see what he says. And then I got to go to a cardiologist, and most of this is during the day. So, but this is turning out really well. Maybe not a lot of people during the live, but in 24 hours, 4,000 people watch it. I'm glad. And I hope we're giving you value. And we will get Robin back on here. In fact, I think Robin can come on the days Dan can't be here. And that would be fantastic. I just got to figure out a way to get her sound working. I want to play AI news for today. I believe this is it. It's today the 12th. Nope, today's the 13th. Hold on.
Today's the 12th.
Oh, yeah, the 12th. Thank God, Mike. I'm looking, I said, I don't have one for the 13th. You know why? It's not here yet.
It's not here yet.
AI headline news for July 12, 2025. US senators warn NVIDIA CEO. Bipartisan leaders caution Jensen Huang against engaging with Chinese firms that may violate export controls during his China visit. AI boosts global fund flows. Investors poured $10.2 billion into equity funds last week, led by AI-related stocks and tariff delays, Reuters. Google invests $75 billion in AI infra. Alphabet's APAC head confirms ongoing 2025 plan to massively expand data centers for AI growth. Microsoft saves $500 million with AI. AI systems shaved over $500 million in call center costs, part of wider effort including 6,000 layoffs and $80 billion data center spend, Reuters.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell.
And Mike, do you have anything else?
I do. I
Go
do.
for it.
One item of it's really, really important. Marty's touched on it. And I think we talked about it the other day. You know, when you interact with people, and really that is our business. We're a people business. We talk to people. In the back of your mind and in your heart, always leave that individual you're talking with and make him feel like they are the hero. He or she, they are heroes. I can tell you the majority of the people in the world have never felt that in their life, that they're the hero. They're the one that got it done. They're the one that had the idea. They're the one that did something nobody else has done. And if you can do that, not only will you have a customer for life, but you actually change lives. And I say this all the time. I hopefully you're not poo-pooing that. We get the ability and the honor to change lives. That is so special. And it's because of where we're at. It's because of what we've developed amongst ourselves and with Mr. Mufareh. Is a really unique place to be. So keep that in the back of your mind. When you leave someone, leave them feeling really, really good about themselves. Don't worry about you. You believe me, if you do that, everything else will be taken care of. So that's one element of success. There are a lot more, but that's one that's really is a key to everything that we do. Marty, go ahead.
Oh, very good. I want to go out in closing. Never worry about making a mistake because you'll never get ahead. Surround yourself with people that love you whether you do make a mistake or you don't. If you have those two things, you can't fail. You can't fail. I'm around people that they know I'm going to make a mistake. Why? I do as much as I can. At my job one time, I went up for an interview. Not an interview. A job evaluation. And I walked in, the plant manager, the plant manager was giving me the interview. He said, sit down. I sat down. He goes, I want to tell you something flat out. Out of all the people I've ever supervised, you've made more mistakes than anybody I've ever met. I'm looking, I'm like, first thing I'm thinking, I might be getting a deduction in pay, right? Then he said, but I want to tell you something even more important. You've accomplished more than anyone has ever worked for me in my life. Because the failure didn't stop you. Even if you got in trouble, you just kept digging and digging and digging and digging. You never did it again. But I expect you to go through like a rototiller, but when you come out, the lawn looks beautiful. That's how he said it. And I went, okay, but that's who I am. I've done it with Mike. I've done it with Dan. We've had really great things. And usually it's hard as hell. Everything we've done was tape, glue, bungee cord, because we never had a big budget. But looking back, I talked to Mike and Dan the other day. I said, could you imagine if we had a budget like $5,000 a month of ads? $5,000, $10,000. And a lot of people do millions a month. And I'm talking about Facebook ads, paid ads. Shut the door. Game over. I mean, I know because we did it. We did it with nothing, absolutely nothing. And then to come here and be with Mr. Mafar and his family and his heart and what he wants to do, that's just one equation I don't have to worry about. Is this guy going to do some shenanigans? No. I don't even have to question that anymore. I'm waiting for him to say go. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what the future is. We're not talking about it. So I don't want to speculate, oh, we're doing this, we're going. No, but I know this. Passive is still there. The company's still there. Let's wait and see what he says. I'm not going anywhere. Where are we going to go? I have nowhere to go. So let me see what Robin said. We have the ability to help others in the true sense of love and friendship. Hopefully those, through our examples, we are helping many others in the process, and they will help others too. Yes, I believe caring and kindness and uplifting is contagious. Maybe not quite as negativity and beating somebody down, but it is contagious. I'm going to give you an example. Chris Johnson, right? He helped that guy in Africa. One day I was talking to him and he said, those kids are kicking around a made up ball, made of paper. They just condensed this paper and made a ball. He sent them 5 soccer balls, 5 for each kid, 5 for the girls, 5 for the boys. Put a roof over their building where they do school. Now you might think that was a good thing to do, but you realize that all the kids, when they grow up, will never, ever forget that. And part of their life will be, in general, giving because he did that to them. And it goes the other way. All this bombing and people die and people getting killed. The little boy, little girl that lost their mom and dad, they're going to grow up one day. And that young boy, in some cases, is going to be a rebel. And I'm going to get them back, even if he doesn't know what happened. That's the sad part. That's how you get ideology. When people say, oh, I'm going to go after this group and I'm going to kill them. You can't. You have to find another way to make it stop. You can't wipe people out and see these young people grow up with and what they saw what happened to their parents. And they're not stupid. I don't care what the reason is. That's why it never works. That's why wars are going on 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years. So if we can, our little piece, spread positivity, uplift each other. That's what God wants. Love thy neighbor. Is that really a hard commandment? And he's not talking about just the guy next door. Be nice to everybody. Doesn't cost anything. Give when you can. Give when you can't. It feels good. It's good for you. Anyway, I'm preaching. It's not even Sunday. I'm all done, Mike. Robin, are you done? You talk more since you can't talk. Yep, I think, no, she's typing something. Hold on.
Yeah, just a quick add, Marty, to what you said. Really, all we're doing is lighting the fuse, guys. It's up to you to run with it after that. And with Mr. Mufar, there's going to be enough stuff there that you're going to be able to sprint, and you're going to be able to sprint for years. So hopefully that's what you're getting out of this stuff. Pretty quick, the fuse is going to be lit, and you're going to be able to run. We're all going to be able to run. What's Robin got to say,
done.
Murray?
Thank you. So thanks everybody. Robin will be back, and Dan will be back Monday.
I miss not listening to her.
I mean, she's called the voice for
Yeah.
a reason. Anyway, we'll see. Go ahead.
Well, I hope. Yeah, no, I was just hoping we would be able to
because
talk with one another.
She would spark
We'll do that
things
another
a lot.
time.
It would be a real cool conversation.
Well, she makes us look good, and we need all the help we can get.
On the bottom are all the people that sent me prayers of what they wanted. I'll post that every day, all the new ones. And love you all. And I'll see you Monday, same time, 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Bye, everybody.